People again, good morning, good morning. Good morning. This is clearing up a little bit. Yeah, I was just doing a live stream and I thought we were still rolling, but it turned itself off. Yes, yeah, I was doing a video. Yes, we can and yes, we will. Yes, I was talking about how things in our lives, we have this negative self-talk, this self-talk in our lives that doesn't serve us at all. It harms us. The program I was watching is called the Iron Man something. It's about this young guy from Denmark, and all his life, a particular point in his life, he received this negative talk. Now he started off all happy, positive, and all that stuff. But as time went on, something happened to him. His personality changed. He was someone that liked to do things on his own. But when he was growing up, someone told him that he can't be a footballer. Okay, now in Europe, they're into football, what we call soccer in America. And it crushed him. And that negative talk convinced him not to pursue his passion of becoming a footballer, and he went the corporate route. But at the age of 28, he decided to push himself. There was this thing called this Iron thing. It's a competition, like an Olympics, a triathlon, but it was going to be in the Antarctic. Yes, Denmark is cold in the winter, but Antarctica is freezing. So he trains himself to do this and interview family members of his sister, brother, other people. And they didn't know what happened to him. They didn't know about the story that someone said, oh, you can't be a footballer. And so he just believed them. But he says something in the documentary I thought was powerful. He said, you know something? He said that people like to tell other people, you can't do this or you can't do that. And he said, how do they know what I can or can't do if they themselves never done it? How could someone say he can't do an Ironman competition in the Antarctic if they themselves haven't done it? And other things like that in life. People are always telling you, you can't do this, you can't do that. But they themselves have not done it themselves. So how do we believe them? And that's what this talk is all about. We listen to people that don't even know us, and they tell us things, but yet they don't know us. They say, you can't do this, you can't do that. And it's a negative talk that somehow it doesn't really serve anybody. It doesn't serve anyone. But somehow it serves those other people. See, other people are just as insecure, and how they try to keep themselves on top is to hold other people down. They say, you can't do this, you can't, well, have you? So it got me thinking about myself. These negative talks, and sometimes we're our worst critic. We could be our worst critic. We may tell ourselves as a kid, oh, well, I'm not able to do this. Other people are smarter, taller, and anything. And we could talk ourselves out of our own strength and ability because of this negative self-talk. Why do we do it? Why do we do this? Some things are social or cultural. Now, I notice like with women, or I should say female, when you're young, that we encourage many times boys to be outgoing, strong, athletic, adventurous. But with girls, you notice, oh, this is too hard for you. Or you don't want to strain yourself, you know? And maybe women should strain themselves, should apply themselves. Because see, you can't always rely that a man will always be around. You may not get a man. You may never get married. You may live in a war zone. And all the men are forced to go to war and you're left by yourself. Who's going to do the gardening? Who's going to tend the animals in the field if you live on a farm? Where is that money going to come from? Take care of yourself, right? So it's a lot of things. I think with myself, I lived in a very male-dominated house. Even though I had two females there, but the females took a lesser role, and a lot of it is cultural. I come from a Caribbean background, even though I was raised, me and my parents in America, but still, you are who your ancestors were. You pass on traditions, attitude, and some of these attitudes we not even be, aware of, but we have it. Girls have to kind of stay indoors while the guys go out and play. Things like that. So how does this really serve, as I said, the weaker of the species? Who is it really serving when you tell women that you can't do this or that? Who is it really designed to serve? Not going to compete with that. Okay? Yeah, I noticed. And so, like, watching that program, this young man, he started off very eager. And he lived a middle-class life. And he decides for himself, hey, he's going to go into this Ironman competition. But notice he did have a sister. And his sister was sharing certain things about her. And she was explaining something, and she was saying that she was being challenged, that like she wanted to do a particular thing. And it was like a war. And she explained that she started to get an anxiety attack. Wow, as a young. And that's when her little brother, the one that eventually did the Ironman competition, gave her a hug, and he too started crying. This was a very long time ago when they were little kids. I think she was a teenager at the time. But a lot of girls need encouragement. And a lot of times we put a lot of emphasis for the men, the males. We invest a lot of time, energy, money for their development because we believe that, see, if you take care of the guy, that they're going to bring in money, right? They're going to protect you, but they don't have fallback if it doesn't happen. Like, for example, there was this one, in this one culture, I think it was India, the lady had 5 or 7 sons. And in her community for marriage, that gifts are given to the groom's side of the family. So she thought she was a smart one, right? This mom with 7 sons. But you know what? See, everybody there wanted sons. There were no girls in the community to marry sons. Not one. See that, people? Sometimes we put all the eggs in one basket, saying, oh, we're going to achieve this. We're going to achieve that. Oh, I went to a, what do you call it? A fertility specialist guaranteeing that I will always give birth to sons. So yeah, there are techniques. Yes, there are techniques. But that other variable, see, if everybody has the same dream to have sons, where are you going to get your women? They could not find any women. And no dowry. So you're stuck with these dudes that won't marry. Yeah, the society there is very strict. But see, things like that we don't consider. But I know some women, we're not invested in. We're not encouraged to be free thinkers. We're taught to be afraid. I know I was. And it bothers me. We're taught you have to stay at home because the bad world is bad. I think, yes, the world is bad. And bad for boys too. But yeah, mostly girls because we're weak of the species, you know. But yeah, we're taught limitations. We're taught that, don't be too smart and clown because it's going to look like you're showing off. But if you have a boy, hey, let's show that you can know all the answers, that you can. What is that doing to the females in your society? It's teaching us lack. It's teaching us that we can't do it without ourselves. And that is a big hurdle, even for me at this day. I catch myself in that negative talk that society taught me. But if society said, oh, don't travel. Oh, a woman, you shouldn't drive. All these things. We have to stop this negative talk. We have to stop it. And I'm also remembering this other thing that happens to women. Yes, men and women are different. Oh, yes. And vive la différence, right? Thank God for the differences. See, we are a dichotomy, but together we're even stronger. So we don't pull on the differences. We embrace the differences between the gender. I'm reminded a couple of days ago, I have some friends I met about a year ago, and they travel, and the woman set up a NGO. Sorry, my hand it. This person started an NGO, and it's about empowering women. Sorry, the woman is from Congo, and they lived in a rural area. And I've heard of some certain things about it. Well, in this particular region in Congo, in Central Africa, when it's that time of the month for the female, well, it's considered a bad thing. Most of the women in her society have to drop out of school. This, I guess, like elementary school, high school, that area, because they can't catch up. So a whole society has to put everything on hold for a natural occurrence. It is the body refreshing itself, cleansing itself for possible pregnancy, right? When it's that time of the month, the body is cleansing itself for the next time around. Now, why did that society not? I mean, for one, with humans on this planet, that this was, you have this monthly occurrence when you of age as a female. And so this nonprofit organization provides like a little kit, underwear, sanitary napkins that are reusable, something like that. And that they carry this little kit with them so they don't miss out in school. But I'm thinking, okay, why can't you have a play school? So, because you're all women, right? A school where the woman can stay and have a teacher in the building. Because see, they are going to school when they have the kid with them, right? So it's not that she's really considered unclean. Like some places, just the act of having it, you have to isolate yourself from society, and you stay in this hut. Well, if you have, you have a school in every community, and so the girl could stay in school, or maybe she can start school earlier. Let's say if it's about carrying the material, covering the material that's to study, okay, you can have like the school. Let's say she come an hour earlier, leave an hour later, school on the weekends. Okay, so that's something that could be done, but it's history. Why set yourself up and for failure? And it staggered me. And it's like no one really cares because I think because it's competition. And if you can kick out the female, that's almost half of the population. You kick them out of school to make it difficult or culturally difficult to achieve something like this. I think of myself growing up. And when we're young, like in elementary school, girls actually seemed to be more advanced mentally and physically. But soon when puberty comes in, oh brother, the self-talk, we call it self-talk, or they're better. I can't do anything. And if you live in a culture where the taboos around a woman's cycle, it's like setting us up for this social system. Why, as women, why don't we think of ways to work around this? It's not a new phenomenon getting your cycle up as a female, but we don't try to find solution. I think this is a main thing, a major point here, that when society says no, somehow we have to tell ourselves, yes, let's find solutions. And that's what I need to do in life. Find solutions for challenges. That yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can do anything. We can do anything. We can go to school and complete it. Can't they just give them the homework assignments at home? Hello? Can't we just bring the assignment at home and so they can complete it? It sounds simple to me. Teachers have their syllabus, things that they cover. It's okay. You're going to get your material and you study at home. Hello? It's set up for us to fail. You know what else? Driving. I mentioned about driving. I used to live in the Caribbean. I lived in the island of St. Thomas, the U.S. Virgin Islands. And did you know they don't want women to drive? And they'll harass you when you bring your car to get it repaired. They won't repair it. They take your car for a joyride. And in my case, they got in a car accident with my car while I was away. Very angry. This fear that we have because we don't believe in ourselves. We create self-negative talk. This boy from Denmark, someone told him, "Oh, you can be a footballer," and it crushed him. Even as an adult, he was healthy, strong, he was handsome. All these good markers. I think maybe he was for his size when he was young, but he caught up. This self-talk that we do, the self-talk that I do to myself. Sometimes we just got to remind ourselves that yes, we can, and yes, we will. We need to separate ourselves from those naysayers out there who say we can't do it. Oh, you're a woman. Oh, you're from this race. Oh, you're flat-chested. Oh, you're not curvy. Oh, you're too skinny. All this negative talk, people. All this negative talk. I knew for myself, I always wanted to leave the States. Always. It's a negative talk. Negative. And I didn't want this for myself. But I told myself when I was to come here, we have to write like a biography about ourselves. And I didn't want to grow plants here. Watermelon. Yeah, I want to grow watermelon. But look, see, it's not perfect. But look, these are little beans. Each one of those things are potential beans and flowers. See that? Yeah, the bugs like it too. See that? The bugs like to eat it too. But this is new here. These are beans. I had purchased some beans to eat, and I said, wow, I never saw a bean like it was like a tiger, like black and white stripes. They look great, these three. And that one squash. Yeah, see, for me, my little dream was to move to Africa, and I wanted to live in a house with a beautiful garden, and I want to grow food. I'm not a farmer. Yeah, a lot of these things here, most of these things here you see are dodo. Like this is a dodo. It's like a spinach. It's grown like little seeds. And peppers too. This is a pepper. 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 This is a yellow Hungarian pepper. Oh, wow. Little one right there. More here. That pepper. So, yeah, not perfect. But I knew for me it's a start. I knew for me I wanted to present myself in a new environment. But sometimes in that new environment, there's still an old environment. You know what that old environment is? Our mind. We have this self-talk, and sometimes we bring it with us. So here we move to a new area, a new tree, but we have this self-doubt talk. These are oranges. Why I'm showing you these are, no, I didn't this tree. This tree was here when I moved in. This is a harvest. Sometimes we have to remind ourselves, hey, this tree represents the fruit of life, and we have to encourage ourselves. Sorry. Yeah, and I made a promise. Yeah, there's a banana tree. Yeah, it grew bananas too. They can regenerate. Like once the banana grows, you cut it off and a shoot comes up. That's what happened here. Some more orange tree. Yeah, this is a sugar cane. Yeah, I wanted a sugar cane. Yeah, my family's from the Caribbean. And Caribbean, sugar cane. You know what I heard with the sugar cane in the Caribbean, why they were growing it? They used the sugar cane to make, what do you call it? Rum. And then the rum was sold to the African to get them drunk. Boy, I'm not going to compete with that. Yeah, so I was gifted this sugar cane. Yeah, I had gone to this place to get some soil because I knew I wanted to start doing planting, because I made a promise to myself. I said, I'm going to go to Africa and I want to grow watermelon. I want to grow this and that, you know. And so I did, women. Sorry. Yeah, I have a blanket on. Oh, I don't want any. Oh, brother. Yeah, let me try to fix. Oh, wow. Yeah, it opened up a side. I don't want any show and tell out here. Yeah, so yeah, this is a sugar cane someone gifted me. And it's taller and taller. I'm very excited about it. Yeah, see, this symbolized history. The sugar cane in much of the Americas was something about, it was about oppression. It was the staple cash crop that Africans had to endure, had to cultivate, and it was to cultivate for somebody else. Interesting, the sugar cane produced sugar, and the molasses was used to make the rum. The rum was sold to Africans to get them drunk, so they don't know what they're doing. So can exploit their resources. And who are the resources? The people. There's nothing more valuable than people. Look at that. Yeah. There's nothing more valuable than people. People is even more valuable than gold. Yep. It's people that drive things, not the things itself. It's people. They are what drives things and make things happen. And so here, this sugar cane that I that was gifted me is to remind me, hey, I come have a history, or my ancestors have a history dealing with the sugar cane. They didn't become rich, but someone else used the energy to become rich themselves. Why don't we turn it around? And those things that had oppressed us, or symbol of oppression, and let's turn it and make it and use it for our own empowerment. Our empowerment. That yes, we can. Yes, we can. Why don't we start telling our daughters, let your cycle hinder you, your monthly cycle hinder you for graduating from school, and to invest in something that's not foolproof? Why do we do that? You know, there are women that, mothers who invest so much in their sons, like that Indian lady who had 7 sons, and in her culture, at least her village, they receive a dowry or something like a gift for each son that gets married. She thought she was going to be in the rich house where she poor now. No children being born from them, no families. So they, in sense, they die. So she invested all this time and money to have sons. And now this can't get married because there's no women. That was because all the women thought the same thing. Yeah, India has a lot of technology. And they had the technology to keep on having male sons. But the whole community had sons and then no daughters. And so it's like a sterilized community. They sterilized and ended their life. No women to marry. And they're real old fashioned. They have to marry their own, right? So have something a little bit more balanced. You should educate your daughters. Educate them. Yeah, they might have it every month, but that is a blessing. It just means that she is fruitful, and the body is not cleansing itself for the next time around, right? What if the guy does? She gets married, it's a war or sick. What happens? You're going to rely, oh, let's just get her married off. The society think like that. They're poor societies. I'm saying it. A lot of these societies see their culture or their so-called faith system. Yeah, this is a mango. That's for sure. Yeah, no mango yet. It's still young, the mango. It takes a long time for one mango. I think 15 years. I think this tree is at least 8 years old, 7, 8 years old. So it still has a way, but it's beautiful. And that's rosemary. No, I didn't plant this either. Yeah, I've been at this place for 1.5 years now. That's rosemary. And this here, this is where my little peanut is buried. Yeah, little lilac. Yeah, have it next to a beautiful plant here. I love this color. Yeah, amberine in color. Yeah, I feel I owe it to them. Lilac and Lily, who passed away. Yeah, those are my little fur babies. And I wanted them to enjoy a garden. That was my promise to myself. I said, I'm going to move out of America, move to Africa, find a house that I can rent with a beautiful garden. I don't want to give up the fight, I've accomplished that. But I want to do more. I know I can do more with myself. That get rid of this negative talk. Yeah, like I was saying, something you may physically move from an area, but if you don't leave your negative thoughts behind, it's you bringing it with you, and you're going to sabotage yourself. You can do it. Let go of this negative chatter. Let it go. It's not serving you. We've been pre-programmed. Women especially are programmed to be a failure, to feel like you're weak, you're mentally weak. They'll have some people, they even say, oh, women are bad drivers. But you know who has the highest car insurance? Men, because they get into accidents. That's what I was told. Men have higher insurance. Men live shorter because they do risky things. You don't see women doing those really and things like that, stupidness like that. But yeah, women are shortchanged. And you know, women teach other women that they're nothing because it's all about trying to get yours. You know, what is that? Women change themselves think you just need a man. You need a man. You got to get a husband. Or sometimes you have women who engage in relationships with a guy to entrap him with a pregnancy, just to keep a guy. Honey, men leave, right? Some men don't care whether you get pregnant, they'll leave. And I know someone who did that. So, we self-talk by our behavior. Oh, if I do this, I'll trap a guy. Lady, stop shortchanging yourself. What are you teaching other women, other youngs? You teach them to think that they can achieve. Look at this tree. This tree is reminding me right now that life is about being fruitful. No one could be fruitful for you. You have to be fruitful for yourself. You got to do it for yourself. It takes a start. It's not about perfection. I'm not a farmer, but I knew that I wanted to take a step of faith and go for it. Yeah, it was very important to me to plant trees, plant veggies, these peppers, Look, all the peppers here. I didn't see it on that side. When they're green like that, they're not as hot. Yeah, I like them green. It grows, this one is red when it's ripe. Yeah. Yeah, we have this self-doubt talk. So, what am I saying? We have to monitor our thoughts. We have to monitor what we tell our children, what we teach our girls. There's no guarantees in life. But follow your dream. Start telling your daughters that yes, you can. Yes, you can, and yes, you will. Watch movies to inspire you. Maybe have a book of things that you want to achieve. And say, yes, we can. Okay? So that's all that I really want to say, These things that we tell ourselves. And sometimes we watch these documentaries and someone who, I think that they have everything going for themselves. But they had stopped trying at one point. And then they said, I'm going to go for it. So a guy in Denmark, at the age of 30, he said after winning all these, finishing the Ironman Antarctica, that's like a triathlon, I think. He says at 30, he's going to go for being that fuller he always wanted to do. More power to him. See, it doesn't matter that you try and don't get it, but the point is that go for it. The rest is really in God's hand, right? So that is my message for today. I got to go inside and feed my little boy. Yeah, more power to us. Yes, we can, and yes, we will. This is Spirit Journey signing off. Bye-bye.